But I have to say that this is a 5-door. They could have done something different here. It sort of fits Mini. It's not like an old Mini, Centenario or something like that. What's up everyone? Welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max and today we've got the 2018 model Mini Cooper S, the 5-door. It has had a little facelift. It's not that big, but today I will show you everything that has changed and then we'll take it for a drive along this lovely road. Very cool spec today, I have to say. It has a John Cooper Works exterior package, which means we get that John Cooper Works front bumper with that very aggressive part down there. It has those black accents around the front and rear lights, black grille, S logo, black stripes. The new Mini logo is on here as well, and these lights are new as well. So it used to be a U shape or an N shape, and they are now completely round, and they encapsulate the front headlight unit, which I think looks better. John Cooper Works wheels, these new side scuttles which you can personalize with the Mini Yours program as well. Black mirror caps, black roof, black stuff. This is a shame though. You still can't get this chrome trim in black. So this trim that goes all around the car, if that would have been in black as well as the door handles and the fuel filler cap, I think that would look a lot cooler. So big difference at the rear with the new Union Jack rear light units, which are a bit gimmicky, but I kind of like them. John Cooper Works rear bumper as well, with the Mini Cooper S exhaust in there, and again new Mini logo. You do have the option to get this in black, but again not this, which is a shame. And what else? Well, I really like this color. I don't actually know the name, but it's a really nice lighter grayish color, which works really well on this car. I do still have to get used to the fact that this is a 5-door Mini. I think it looks a bit weird. It looks like a shrunken down Countryman. Yeah, it's a bit weird if you ask me. It's a very small door as well. Ugh. Yeah, a bit weird. Just look at how small that entrance is. Okay, on the inside we've got a John Cooper Works door sill down there, new steering wheel, John Cooper Works seats, and we also have a new, start it up, we also have a new screen, 6.5-inch touchscreen, which is from the Countryman, and it works really well. This touchscreen responds really well. You can also use this regular wheel to operate it, but I have to say that I like this touchscreen because it is so quick and so responsive that, yeah, it's really cool. I'll quiet down that fan. What else is new? Well, we have a new gearbox. So this is a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, which BMW have called Steptronic again, or Mini, which is a bit confusing because everything is called Steptronic, but I think this is called Steptronic Sport, with a new lever, which is, I don't really like it, the shape of it. It's a bit weird. And this used to have this ring around it. I don't know if you remember, but you could use that to select the driving modes, but it was really flimsy and not that great. So it is on here now. It is this toggle switch. You can switch between sport, mid, and green, and this changes as well, the color on there. and I'm very happy to report that they have gotten rid of that stupid go-kart feeling thing right here, ultimate go-kart feeling, something like that. Now what happens when you switch from mid to green, now what happens when you switch from mid to sport is that you can see this regular Mini. If we switch to sport, it gets a white roof, white mirror caps and white stripes on the bonnet. So that's a lot better. And well, I do have to get this fan going a little bit because it is really hot. But I think it will quiet down in a minute. Also, new unit right here with the new fuel indicator, which is a lot better. Used to be really ugly, Lego style, and very difficult to read. And there is one thing that I don't like. This Rev Counter is way too small. In the old Minis you had this big one right here, and this was a Rev Counter, and you had your digital speedometer right there, and then you had an analog one in here, if you remember. And well, I think they could have done something different here, because I just want my Rev Counter to be a lot bigger, and especially in the Mini. And you know, especially if I would have a manual one, the need for a big Rev Counter would be even more present. But we have the automatic today, which means that this car goes from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 6.8 seconds. It has 192 horsepower and 280 newton meters from a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine, which are the same values as the pre-facelift, but they changed some stuff on the engine, like a new high pressure fuel injection system and a turbocharger made from a different material to improve the efficiency of the engine. So it is slightly different, but it delivers the same amount of power. Other than that, no changes on the chassis or on the springs, dampers, stuff like that. Because, you know, it did really need to change. It has a great chassis. And the Cooper S is really meant for people who want sort of a fast hatchback, which is cool to look at, fun to drive, but not too extreme, not too aggressive. And they have succeeded again with this car. I mean, it's not super sharp, it's not as, you know, as engaging to drive as a Peugeot 208 GTI by Peugeot Sport or a Ford Fiesta ST. It's just not as sharp and as, yeah, on edge as those cars, but it is much better than those cars at just regular driving. And, you know, comparing the interiors of those cars, is a world of difference. I mean, the interior of this is really nice. We also have a new steering wheel. This has a John Cooper Works steering wheel. And we also have this, which is also new. You can personalize that one as well and get some cool prints on there, or your name or whatever you want, which is kind of cool. It sort of fits Mini. And we can switch off traction control or put it in sport right here. And then we can use launch control as well. There's actually a decent sound coming from the exhaust. Nice and burbly. Brakes are good enough. The initial bite is not that great, but they are very progressive and they work fine. But there's the rev limiter. Sounds a bit sad. But the exhaust does pop now and then, and especially if you're in first gear, Let me open the window. You get a nice burble on the upshift, which is pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool. Let's do launch control somewhere around here, because you get some pops and burbles on the launch control as well. Okay, we'll do it here. So sport for the gearbox, sport driving mode, and sport for the traction control. Hard on the brakes, launch control active. There we go. Bit weird. Bit of a weird launch control, I have to say. It's not that aggressive, but it works, it's okay. So let's switch off traction control altogether. DSC off. Because the traction control in sport mode is still quite, you know, nannying. It's intervening still, and it sort of muffles or mutes the driving experience, because you want to feel what's happening when you chuck this car into a corner. You want to feel what's happening, and you don't want that traction control to limit your power or break one wheel or something like that. But something that this car is very good at is just, you know, it's showroom appeal. It's just, it looks very cool. It has some premium vibes, and I do recommend getting a set of better tires than this one has. It has something like Pirelli Centenario or something like that. They are not great, especially on braking hard. The car starts to float around. That wasn't even at full brakes. So I would recommend getting something like a Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tire or something like that. Something better. But the car still feels very, you know, chuckable, very square, and that's certainly how you want a Mini to feel. It's just that the steering feel, you know, the communication through the steering wheel isn't that great. It's just a bit distant, and when you select sport mode here, the steering feel gets heavier, like in other BMWs, and I don't really like that, because I think that, you know, I prefer the steering in mid, but it's not adjustable, so you just have to go for sport, because you want those pops and bangs, those little rumbles in the exhaust, which you only get in sport mode. And it also changes the throttle map, so you get a bit more aggressive throttle response. It doesn't adjust the dampers, it has just regular dampers, so that's fine, which are very comfortable. So it's not like an old Mini darting around and jumping around and just really, you know, super direct and super responsive. It's more grown up now, and it has been, you know, with the pre-facelift as well. But it's not the old Mini that came in 2001 and, you know, just surprised everyone with its great handling and its chuckability. You can still do that with this car, but you just don't really feel what happens, which is a shame. So there's also John Cooper Works, of course, with 231 horsepower, which sits above this car, which we are going to drive soon as well. So I'm hoping that that car is still as aggressive as Minis used to be, and still, you know, offers that sense of sharpness and direct handling, and, you know, a bit more firm. This is a very comfortable car, so, you know, that's better for most people because that means they can drive it every day. But when you're on a road like this and on a day like this, you want to go for a drive, it's sort of disappointing because it's too grown up. Okay, so that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. You can also check out this POV review of a Mini Countryman Cooper SE Hybrid. And you can also check out this reviews playlist. We've made a lot of these, so if you enjoy this one, you can check out some more over there. Bye guys, see you at the next one.